This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of the Locked On Reds POSTCAST. My name is Tim Daniel. I've been covering the Cincinnati Reds in podcast form for over 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds, as shown here. Shout out my guys over there, and the Riverfront. I am here tonight in a disappointing day for the Cincinnati Reds, who unfortunately could not score 24 runs again today, in a 6-3 loss to the Miami Marlins. Just wasn't a great day for the Reds, but I'm happy they put some runs at the end, and obviously offense wasn't terrible at the end after Max Meyer left the game, but we'll get to that. So today we're going to talk about the fact that Max Meyer basically had the Reds off balance throughout the day. Just an unbelievable day for him. He was awesome. He was really, really good. I think at some point you just had to tip your cap. Nick Lodolo with not a bad outing, but not necessarily a good outing. So kind of dive into his performance as well. Had a lot to like. There was a lot I was kind of disappointed in as well. And then Gavin Lux finally hits his first home run as a member of the Cincinnati Reds. So we're going to talk about that as well. Let's get to the show. Let's see how I can't wait to hear from you guys today about this game. Let's just kind of get to it. And of course, we'll start with what we normally do. Here is what we are talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Max Meyer was awesome is the basis of today's game. That's the summary. On my player of the game, I have to give it to a Reds player. But if I could just do whoever played in the game, it would be Max Meyer because he 1,000% deserved today. Just incredibly dominant, and incredibly impressive too. So today he goes 6 innings, 5 hits given up, doesn't have any walks, 14 strikeouts. He was unreal. That team has Sandy Alcantara on there, and I'm pretty sure Max Meyer might be better than him. I know he has been this year for sure. But this was a really good game from him, man. He was just awesome. At some point you just gotta tip your cap. You know, one guy was really good and your team couldn't figure him out, and he was dominant. So got to give kudos to him there. But the way he was just kind of mixing his pitches, using his sinker, using his slider, and just did a really good job of keeping the Reds batters off balance. That's his job also. So 14 strikeouts today, pretty crazy. Obviously was a top 5 draft pick for a reason. If you look at his history of coming up. And obviously he plays the Miami Marlins, so cash in while you can, because you know that if you pitch well there, someone's going to trade for you. So I'm pretty sure someone's going to trade for him. May not be this year, but that day's coming. For him, it just was like, you know, Matt McLean had a couple nice at-bats on him. I know he got a hit off him. TJ Friedel had a hit early in the game as well. But it was just from jump, that guy was ready to go. They had one situation where they maybe could have made a stint there. They had runners on second and third and couldn't bring him in. You know, you lose a day like today by 3 runs and you're 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. You leave 6 on base. It happens, man. You know, like Joey Gaditza says, 100% tip the cap to him. I thought this was the tip of your cap game for him. And he's really good for a reason. He's got this legacy that he's brought together. He rules, man. And like, you know, I know it's a Reds show, but I got to give him his credit. I just thought that the Reds just couldn't figure him out. I mean, the way he uses his slider was just had everyone off guard. I mean, obviously, you know, if you look down the lineup, the only guys that didn't strike out today were Marte and Steer. And Trevino, who normally has great at-bats, looked lost against him. I just felt like that guy just had it going. So want to make sure we give him his props there and walk on from it. But you know what? That's why you play 3 of these games against a team, and you maybe have a favorable matchup tomorrow that maybe you can get right back to it and try to figure out how you can get back in the win trap. So, yeah, Branch says right here, he painted the bottom of the zone. I mean, that is really hard to hit. And just like, I'm sure his heat map is very red all at the bottom. Joey Gaditza says Marte looks good. Yeah, I will for sure to give him his credits during the show as well. Pierre also giving credit to Noelvi Marte. So let's talk about that real quick, because I think I've said everything I can about Max Meyer, because this is not the Marlins postcast, it's the Reds postcast. 2 days in a row now, Noelvi Marte has started over Jeimer Candelario. And I think what I'm at right now, no, they're not, Juwan. No, just stop that, dude. Just stop. That's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. And you know it's ridiculous. You're just saying things because you know you're going to get a rise. Like, the Reds are not the same level as the Rockies. Do not bring that in here. It was a bad game against a great pitcher. It's baseball. That's all I'm going to say. But here's where I'm at. Really happy with this, with Noelvi Marte situation. Really happy that he's the one who's getting the chance to play third base more. Really happy that he's the one who's getting this opportunity. And I really hope that we get to see more of this. I really don't think that, I don't know if you can you can't rely on Candelario. We've seen it now, right? We may not know who Noelvi Marte is. I know a lot of people wanted to point out yesterday that his hits were off position players. 2 of the 5. Okay, take those 2 away. It's 3 hits still. Pretty good day. 2 hits today as well. I'm really liking this. I think the defense is obviously a significant jump. He's a better athlete and he's a better hitter. So I really hope that we are seeing something new with Noelvi Marte, because even that last out today that he hit his out is about in the 9th inning. I mean, he put a charge in that thing. That's a huge outfield. So let's see, hopefully we can keep this rolling. When he gets back at GABP, maybe puts a couple in the bleachers. Heck, they're going to Coors on Friday. He's swinging the bat the way he is right now. We know what happens there. So really excited about that for Noelvi Marte as well. But hey, guys, we're going to take the first break here. And before we come back, I'm going to talk about Nick Lodolo today and how I don't really know how I feel about his performance. There's stuff that I liked, stuff that I don't like. And we'll kind of get to that here in just a second. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending at Fanatics, and between having baseball, basketball license, and the WWE, that can add up when you're buying T-shirts and jerseys and hats. So had to get a little smarter with that. Now I budget smarter and save more. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight on the Locked On Reds postcast after a disappointing day where the Cincinnati Reds do take a disappointing 6-3 loss against the Miami Marlins at Lone Depot Field. Though they did make a nice little rally at the end, it just was not enough and they couldn't put it together at the end. So let's get to where this game was really won and lost on the night, guys. Here is where our turning point was in today's day.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
For me, the turning point I put as Eric Wegman's home run off Lodolo in the 5th to make it 3-0. I don't know. It just felt like at that point, and I know they went on to score 3 more runs, and the Reds went on to score 3 more runs as well. But that felt like at that point, it just kind of was what was kind of the dagger. It felt like for a second there, the Steph Curry 3 per se, and kind of maybe like the way that Nick Lodolo was performing, really kind of put that afloat. So let's get to Nick Lodolo because this was a really weird game for him. So again, as I've said so far through the show, didn't think he was awful. Didn't think he was very good either. So leaves the game looking like 5 2/3, 3 earned runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and gives up that home run to Wegman that we mentioned there just a second ago. Something about him just seemed off. It looked like there for a bit. Just his inconsistency to pound the strike zone, which is not a Nick Lodolo thing. Wasn't getting these ground balls that we've seen throughout the year. And I get it. I mean, he might be a little sleep deprived because he just had a baby. Been there, done that, know all about that. Can't imagine what it's like as a professional athlete when you need your rest as much as they do. So probably, maybe that plays a part in it. The overjoyed excitement and adrenaline, it certainly comes there as well. So for him, when he's at the top of his game, he's for sure like a really good number 2 guy, right? I mean, he's for sure right there behind, up there with, guys like up there with Hunter. By the way, Hunter's next game is going to be in Colorado. So I am not going to listen to anything if he gives up 4 or 5 runs in that game. But for him, we see this too much, right? Whether it's he can't stay on the bump or it's these random games where just he can't string outs together and he can't consistently get guys out. It's really just kind of fascinating to me. I do think that right now Andrew Abbott has made a really good case to be that next guy. I think that Brady Singer didn't have a great start. His last game either. Forgive me there. But I just think these last two outings for Lodolo, I'm going to go ahead and say they're an outlier because he had been really, really good up to his last two outings. And he's pitching against Colorado this week. So maybe against a horrid lineup like that, they can get going. So I thought this was just a rough day for him. Wasn't great, wasn't hurt, wasn't bad, but we'll see how things go from there. But we will kind of move from there as well. And let's go ahead and get to today's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Not much to talk about when you're the Cincinnati Reds, in a game like today, but we got to give our credit to Gavin Lux. His first home run as a Cincinnati Red gets the Red Legs right back in the game as well. Gives them a chance to put a rally together if they can't make anything happen from there. He has that big home run. And really was probably his worst game as a Red so far, batting wise, right? Especially at least of late. Had 3 strikeouts going to that bat. It's a 2-run homer after the Reds get a run earlier in the inning as well. So makes it 6-3, and they're just not able to stream anything together. But I feel like for that was Gavin Lux's biggest hit of the matchup and really the biggest play of the game. So let's go give a congratulations to him and player of the game for hitting that first home run as a member of the Cincinnati Reds. Let's just talk real quick about a few other things that I've seen in the chat I want to get to. Forgive me while I take a drink. That just kind of jumped out to me and things that kind of talked about. And the biggest one is Alexis Díaz, who hasn't been very good. Although he has gotten a lot of people out and he has had some nice moments, has looked like Alexis Díaz of last year quite a bit. And today was probably the one who put the game really away. I know I talked about the Wegman homer making it 3-0, but Alexis Díaz makes it 6-0. And that was rough. So also has a walk and can't seem to I don't know what happened after that All-Star game, but for some reason with him, he's just kind of really been bad. I mean, there's no way to put it. And I will take the loss for this. I really believed he'd have a nice bounce back year. I really believed he'd come in and he'd find a form that he had in August and September last year and bring that over. Has not done such a thing. So I don't know how many more times you can throw him out there. I think the role he pitched in tonight is as good as it's going to get for him right now. So we shall see how that goes. But man, that was rough. A couple other things I want to get to that was in there. I see Yash coming in. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Lux definitely did need that homer. Pierre Lux has been the Lux pickup. I like that. Yeah, I do like that one. It's like Pierre again. New win streak starts tomorrow. I like it. So I hope we get that going as well. And then as far as the number 2 position pitcher, you guys all have really good points. Abbott's come up. When we get Rhett Lauder back, hopefully he can make a case for that as well. We shall see how that goes and so forth. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this edition of the Reds Postcast. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you all so much. Even on a disappointing day, we go ahead and wrap up. The Cincinnati Reds are losers tonight, unfortunately, in Miami, 6-3. The Marlins 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors. The Reds 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher today is Max Meyer. He is now 2-2 with a 2.10 ERA. The loser, Nick Lodolo, is 2-2 with a 2.79 ERA. And the save goes to Jesus Tinoco of the Miami Marlins for his second of the year. The Reds are back at it tomorrow, once again at Lone Depot Field against the Miami Marlins. Nick Martinez, who has not been very good, will take the hill for the Reds at 0-3 with a 6 ERA. The good news, though, for the Reds is he is going up against Edward Cabrera, who has also struggled at 0-1 with a 6.52. That game will be at 6:40. I'll be back about 9:30, probably around a second time tonight. The game goes the right amount of time and doesn't go super late, but we will for sure be here regardless when that last out happens. But thank you all so much for hanging out. I greatly appreciate it. Hope we can get back to the winning tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.